What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Glock 30, and I just jumped out the porch with Dirty Glove Bastard. Peace.
They ain't throw your boy no bands, I had to run my own. My little partner catching bodies, he get money road run. Talk.
All right, y'all, we got one of the coldest streetwear designers coming out of Hartford, Connecticut, Mr. Glock 30, CEO of Glock 30 Club, jumping off the porch with us today. How you feeling?
What's going on, man? Shit.
Now,
Chilling.
you got the drip. Let's get into the drip first and foremost.
All right, so we got Fire F5s. We got the Capital socks with the Capital bandana on the ankle. You feel me? Just get into that. You feel me? Then we got the Capital shorts. You can only find this in certain places. Feel me? Then, I'm rebranding. We gonna get into that later though.
The rebrand.
Yeah, we rebranded. This one of my jerseys. It ain't even out yet.
I saw you post like I think I saw a girl one in there too, if I'm not mistaken.
The cutoff one.
Yes,
Yeah,
I need that ASAP.
yeah. I think I got one in my bag back in my room. I'll bring you one. That shit ain't mine.
Listen, don't gas me up.
I got you.
Now, Mr. Glock 30, let's get into your background a little bit. Like I said it earlier, you're from Hartford, Connecticut. Let's talk about the culture there and just a little bit of what you were into growing up.
All right, so as far as culture, it's a lot of culture. We got a big Caribbean like influence. Like it's a lot of Caribbean people up there. I'm Jamaican myself, so it's like it ain't really much to do out there. It's boring. That's why you feel me. You met me in Miami. You know? So that's why I'm always on the road. It ain't really much to do besides really getting in trouble. You feel me?
I was gonna ask you, since it's nothing to really do out there, is it easy for you to like fall into the influence of different things?
Hell yeah. Like me, I always was getting money.
Right.
Like always. Like when niggas was gangbanging and doing all this hot shit, I was more so focused on getting to the bag, like hustling and shit like that. But hell yeah, like niggas dropping like crazy back home.
Really?
You just gotta focus and
Yeah.
you know, buckle down and do your thing. Stay out the way.
And what would you say was it that didn't allow you to fall into the influence of like gang banging and different things like that around you?
You can't gangbang and get money at the same time. Man. I like nice shit, so feel me? That's all. You either go this way or you go this way. You can't mix money and violence. You feel me? So.
Ooh, what's your perspective, a deeper perspective on trying to mix money and violence?
You just can't do both. Like you can't be getting into trouble and trying to run up a bag. You go to jail, you can't run up a bag. You can't.
Right.
If you sitting behind that wall, you can't run up a bag. I mean, some niggas do it, but for the most part, nah. So you just gotta focus on one or the other, or get a job. You feel me? I wasn't doing that. You feel me? Wow.
So what would you say were like some tough lessons that you had to learn really early on?
So I would say that, you know, niggas really ain't your friend. Me, I'm overly loyal. Like, if I'm your boy, I'll do anything for you. You feel
Right.
me? So, with that being said, niggas don't be on the same type of time I be on, and I be peeping that, so I just gotta fall back. I say, so I gotta give like an example. So, boom, like an example of that is, like, if my man's is fucked up, I'll give him the shirt off my back. Niggas
Right.
don't be on that type of time. So with that being said, anytime you see me, I'll be by myself. That's the best way. That's the best way. Or with corn.
Do you feel like greed is one of the biggest things that's going on right now as to why there's not really a lot of loyalty?
Hell yeah, niggas see money first. I'm more so focused on relationships first than the money because the money really ain't going nowhere, you know? So I focus on building a foundation first and then focus on getting the money. Making sure everybody around me got an understanding of the end goal, and the end goal really is financial freedom. So, but yeah, niggas is definitely greedy. Like, I done been stabbed in my back many times. That's why I move how I move now, just by myself, sticking and moving.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And when it comes to building the relationships, even with your streetwear brand, would you say that's more of the longer route that a lot of people are not patient enough to take?
Yeah, nah. Niggas not patient enough for this streetwear shit. Just off the simple fact, for one, just to make a collection alone, you gotta wait like 3 to 5 months, sometimes more, because you could send them your bread. It could be anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, and they holding your bread for production.
Wow.
You feel me? For months. Like sometimes you don't even get a response.
And this is just to get your idea on an actual shirt or like on the glasses.
Yeah. So you know what? Let me backtrack. So boom. First step is you gotta make the design. Like you gotta bring your vision to life. So that takes time. Boom. That's probably like 2-3 weeks, sometimes a month, just to get a design going. And then after that, you gotta send that shit to your manufacturer. After that, you gotta pay these motherfuckers. That shit is not cheap. Like that shit is not cheap. Like
how much would you say if you spent a total on just the production alone?
Man, I'd say like 50,000. Nah, more than that, easily more than that. Because for one, I got 2 brands. I got a store. My store back home is members only. So I gotta buy merch for that store just to keep it alive. And I gotta buy merch for Glock 30 Club just to keep that shit alive. And I'm consistent. I'm always dropping new shit. So I say like 100 grand.
100 grand.
Yeah.
Woo. But I mean, it's showing though, like your brand is flourishing.
But I make this shit look easy. I don't go online complaining, yeah, man, this shit getting tough. Like I already know that this shit is tough. Like life is tough. So it's either you go full-fledged at this shit or live with regret for the rest of your life. So I'd rather just do the shit, you know?
Now let's get into your brand, Glock 30 Club. The inspiration behind it, let's talk about it.
All right, so back home, a lot of people got brands and shit like that. And I always thought this shit was cool, but I never really thought to make clothes. And then my brother 40 pulled me to the side, I want to say in like 2021, January 2021, he was like, yo, we gotta find something like legal to do. So I'm like, I don't want to drive no trucks or.
Were you getting in trouble before?
I wouldn't really, yeah. But I'm like, man, I don't want to work no job. I don't want to drive trucks, or I don't want to like get a business where I got to do physical work. That ain't me. I'm a pretty boy, you know? So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna make clothes. I like getting, you feel me? I like getting fly. I like getting fresh. So fuck it, I'm gonna just sell clothes. So then I just kept coming up with names. Them shits was bullshit though. Like, them shits is all bullshit. So shout out to Mario. He kept telling me like, man, just keep thinking on that shit. So I came up with Glock 30 Club like out the blue. That shit was mad random. And I kicked the idea to a few niggas, and niggas was like, nah, that shit'll never sell.
Cause it said Glock 30 Club?
Yeah, and my original designs, it had a gun on it. So niggas was like, nah, niggas not gonna wear that, don't do it. Me, I'm rebellious. I'm an Aries, so I'm gonna do what the fuck I want.
Oh yeah, y'all definitely have it y'all way.
I'm gonna do what I want regardless. So I did it, and it was tough because at first, I spent a lot of money on the blinks. Like I spent like $5,000 on just blink hoodies, and I didn't have a printer, nothing. Like I ain't have a warehouse to bring them to get them done. So they was just sitting at my mama's house for like 3 months, just sitting. And then I finally found a printer, got the designs printed, put them shits on the gram. I swear to God, I wish I had a picture of this shit. Like I sold them shits out. I probably made like 30 hoodies. I sold them shits at $200 a piece. I kid you not. And then I had hats made too. It said Glock 30 Club, like going across the whole hat. I sold them shits for $100 a piece. Rinsed them. That shit was easy. After that, I was like, all right, this shit easy, man. I just ran with it. It happened by accident, honestly. I just ran with that shit.
What would you say was like the toughest thing starting your own brand?
Starting it was easy. Keeping it going was hard. Anybody can start anything, but to fully execute something, that's what's hard. So honestly, I would say, like I said, just keeping my patience and keeping my pace, just keep jogging. You can't really sprint in this shit, because once you rush, one small fuck up could fuck up the whole collection.
Right.
If you don't thoroughly check, dealing with these manufacturers, like, they will send you some bullshit. They will. And not give a fuck. They won't give you your bread back, none of that.
Now, I know we have met in Miami at, shout out to Simo, we met at his pop-up shop. And I stopped by because I saw Yummy Sandifer on your trucker hat.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, is this Yummy Sandifer? And he was like, yeah. And so I wanted to ask you about that and ask you, because for people who don't know his story, if you look it up, it's crazy as hell. But what would you say was like the significance and why you wanted to incorporate him into your brand?
All right, so as a kid at my grandmother's house, it was I believe it was a Times magazine. You know that one?
Yeah, that's where I read his story, the Time magazine.
He was on the cover, remember that shit? So he was on the cover, and I always used to read his article when I was in the bathroom. That shit used to be in the bathroom. I used to just sit on the toilet, Paul. I used to sit on the toilet and just read it. So his story always intrigued me because he was so young. He was young, he was knocking niggas off, and that shit, you know, that shit's like the norm in Chicago, you know? So, I don't know, I just be having visions and ideas, and I just want to bring it to life, so. Like,
now, with those truckers, do people actually know who that is?
They don't know, but I made the hat so fire to the point where they don't even care. Like, it's actual Glock sticking out the hat. You know, you seen it.
Yeah, it's
so,
hard.
Like, they don't care. They don't care who's on it. They just like, damn, this hat hard, I need it. But a lot of people don't know who that is. You feel me? So, I actually just did a pop-up shop in Chicago at Unique. You know what Unique is? I did a pop-up shop there. They was loving that shit.
So getting into streetwear culture, after I've been like studying it and really seeing it like in person, it's way deeper than what people think.
Yeah, because to be honest, a lot of people just think this shit is just clothes. It's not just clothes. Honestly, I'm pouring my life into this shit. My past experiences, everything I done been through, everything that I done seen. Even if I didn't experience it, a friend of mine might have experienced it, or I done seen it growing up. So it's just who I am, and I'm pretty sure other designers feel the same way. You know.
Now, is there heavy politics in streetwear culture?
I say yeah. Like back home, it definitely is a lot of politics. But me in the city, I'm the neutral nigga. Like when niggas be beefing, I still could like talk to niggas and fuck with niggas, and it won't be no problems, just because that's just who I am as a person. I wouldn't say I love everybody, but I got love for everybody.
Right.
And it's the same.
Now, I feel like when people think of streetwear, they don't really think of how into depth it is and how into depth the designers are, like you said, pouring their actual life stories behind like something like shades, like how you have shades, like clothes, just different things like that. So what would you say is the story behind Glock 30 Club? All
right, so the story behind the brand, like I said, I always love fashion. I always love high fashion. The story behind it is, well, I'm gonna just explain the name. Damn, I wish I had the logo in front of my original logo. So it basically was Glock up at the top, and then for the L, it was a Glock, you know, with the 30 clip on it. And then it was a 30 in the middle, and inside the 0, it was a globe with handshaking. So that shit basically just means like, if we all stick together as one, we could basically just take over the world, you know? If we all handle our business, that's it. That's all that shit stands for. Niggas think that shit is some violent shit. It's not.
Wow. Okay, so it's unorthodox because when you think about it and you hear the name, you thinking it's on like some street shit, but it's really, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, the way I'm interpreting it, with you being the neutral person between a lot of different things, is the story behind you and how you are the neutral person. You just want to bring everybody together to create dope shit. Right,
yeah. And help each other out, defend each other. That's where the Glock comes into play, like, feel me? We're gonna defend our shit. We're gonna help each other out. We're gonna do business with each other. Feel me? We're just gonna take over the world. That's it.
And I know we talked earlier and you were basically saying like, niggas is not wearing designer no more, like it's straight streetwear.
Soon, the designer's they already copying off of us. Like a lot of shit, like shout out to Simo, shout out to Dub and them niggas, like a lot of shit that them niggas be dropping, I will go into Saks and I'll see like them imitating what we drop. That shit's crazy. It is what it is. They've been doing that shit for years, though.
Do you feel like it needs to be a little bit more light shed on underground streetwear designers, especially black designers?
Yeah, because to be honest, when you think of a designer, you wouldn't think of somebody like me. You would think of like a square. Really, like somebody sitting at a desk drawing up shit, or you wouldn't think of like a fresh nigga. So, nah, yeah, we definitely need more light on us, for sure. And we the new rappers at the end of the day.
You know what y'all really are? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the lifestyle, like you would go on the streetwear designer's page and think they rapping on some rap shit.
Facts, cause I'm really outside too, so it's like everybody know me, so it's like, damn, I might as well. Like mad people been telling me like, yo, you should just rap. You already lived the lifestyle. Like even before I started doing clothes, like niggas always wanted me to rap. I'm just not one to express myself, really.
Can you rap though? Like if you got behind the booth, you think you got?
I'm pretty sure practice makes perfect, so I'm pretty sure I could. that just never was my thing.
Now let's get into the rebrand of Glock 30 Club. What we got coming?
All right, so we got Ascension. So that term means the act of rising to a higher power. And shit, that's basically what I wake up and I try to do every day, just rise, be better than yesterday, that's all. So that's what it is. But it's gonna be different. I'm gonna try to incorporate the two. All right, boom. The reason why I'm rebranding, right, is I got a cease and desist letter from Glock, the company.
Oh, the actual gun company.
Yeah.
They sent you a cease and desist?
Yeah, you wanna see it?
Yeah, what? Dang, so, okay, so on the bright side, that means that like, your shit booming.
I'm lit, yeah. So they emailed one to me and they sent one to my house. Well, my business address, right? So I'm like, what the fuck? So then I sent that to one of my boys, cause he got one as well for his brand a few years back. And he was like, nah, this shit real. Like, I think you should just cold turkey, just cut it off. I ain't listen to him, feel me? I kept pushing it. Next thing you know, my fucking social media accounts start getting deleted and shit for infringement. I'm like, what the fuck?
And this is from the actual Glock company,
yes. Yeah, like they was on my ass. Like they deleted, I had a Glock 30 Club page, I had a Glock 30 TikTok, Glock 30 YouTube, they deleted everything. And they basically was like, they sent me another letter, they was like, yo, that's your warning. You keep going with this shit. Cause I tried to get it trademarked, the name Glock 30 Club. So they was like, this your warning. Like, you keep pushing this shit, we're gonna take you to court. I was gonna take him to court, cause I'm not one to really give up.
Yeah, like back down, cause you put so much into your brand.
Exactly. So I'm calling attorneys. They like, yeah, that's gonna run you about $100,000, $400 an hour, shit like that. I'm like, nah, that ain't. Nah, I'ma just rebrand.
Wow. So are you gonna do a special last Glock 30 release?
I was actually, so if you look at the shades, it says G30C. I think I'm gonna just start throwing that on clothes instead of just throwing it away.
Yeah.
So, that's all.
I can't believe the actual gun company.
Yeah, nah, they probably still watching my shit right now to this day.
Dang, but like I said earlier, like that mean that you up.
Hell yeah. Like I ain't even scratched the surface yet.
Now, speaking of being up, there has been some familiar faces in your shades. Baby Money, Icier Vezzo.
Yeah, shout out to the D.
Lou Graham. Yeah.
Yep.
So talk about that and how you were able to get your brand out to them.
I ain't gonna hold you. If I want something done, I'm a pest. So like I done DM GT a million times, Baby Money a million times, reached out to their managers and just pestered them until I got a response. But Icier Vezzo, shout out to Jetto, his manager, they came to my city, I wanna say like 2 years ago. And one of the old heads from our city, he got a studio called Human iPod Studios. So he called me like, yo, I got Vezzo down here. I'm like, what? Say no more. I got a store. It's probably like 5 minutes away. Man, I packed that motherfucker up, shot down it. Matter of fact, I got pulled over too. Literally, like, I got pulled over on the way there. I was like, yo, come on, man, y'all gotta let me go. Cause, man, I got a big opportunity. They let me go. I parked that motherfucker. I ran upstairs. They in there. I'm just chopping it up. They like, yo, your shit hard. He actually threw me on his gram like, yo, this nigga shit hard. And then ever since then, I just been sending them clothes.
Now, you know what it is that I love about your shades, because your shades been carrying me through this summer. I love the fact that, you know, some people's tints be too dark to where you can't see out of the shades. Yeah. I like that it's dark enough to where you can see your eyes, but not really. But from an insider with the actual shades on, I can see everything.
Yeah, I be in the club with these shits on all night, just chilling.
Bro, you need the shades in the club. I don't know what it is, but I feel like the evil eye be sent in the club. And when you wear the shades,
because that's where all the demons at. You need to block all that shit out for sure.
All the demons be in the club. You gotta have the shades on in the club. That's been my new thing. And your shades been carrying.
I ain't gonna hold you. I made these to perfection. Like the measurements, I measured my face. Like these shits literally fit my face perfectly. I measured the size, the front, top, bottom, even the way how the lenses. Like I told them I didn't want them too dark. Just everything is perfect. I got some new shades dropping too. I ain't gonna tell y'all too much. Though.
Now you gotta hold up the multi-colors in the bag, cause them hoes is hard.
All right, so we got yellow tint on black with the gold accent on the side. We got rosé tint on black. We got the people's favorite, all black lenses, gold accents, white, rad when you want to get funky with it. You know? And we got the super groovy greens.
Them green was crazy.
Yeah. So.
Now, when it comes to the style of your brand, what is it that you wanted to give off?
So I try to incorporate, like I said, my life. So just groovy shit, like. So I went to school for music too.
You did?
High school, yeah.
Wow.
So I'm into music, I'm into art. I went to an art school. So I'm into pretty much everything. I'm well-rounded. So I just try to incorporate art, the streets, and my life into one. And shit, so far it's been working.
I ain't gonna lie, streetwear is that's the new one. Y'all be walking around like the president. Yeah. I was like, nah, it's so wavy. And just to see like young black designers having an outlet and having multiple opportunities to showcase their brand, it's so beautiful to see.
Yeah. I just want people to know, like, this shit not gonna come overnight. I'm damn near, I started in 2021, so what's that, 2 years, right? Yeah, I'm 2 years into this shit. And honestly, a lot of people think that I made it, et cetera, et cetera. I haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg yet, like at all. I got so much more to go. I mean, so much more to come with this shit, and I ain't giving up, honestly. So, to y'all haters out there, I don't know what to tell y'all. Shit, I'm resilient. You gotta be resilient in this shit. You got to. If not, you gonna let this shit eat you alive. Like, I done seen people fall off, give up. Shit. I mean, I done wanted to quit a million times this year. Like, I lost my grandfather this year. Mad bullshit happened this year, and I just wanted to let this shit go. But honestly, talking to niggas like Simo and shit like that, keep me grounded, you know?
Right. Shout out to Simo. That's a real nigga.
That's my guy, bro. I done learned so much. I met him last year. I done learned so much from him in a year. Like, anytime I call him, he picking up. What's good, bro? I just, feel me? I just be needing insight sometimes, and he be giving me that shit for sure.
Right.
So.
Now, for any young, upcoming streetwear designers, what advice would you give them when it comes to starting their brand and also staying down with their brand?
Shit, it's just not cheap. This shit not cheap. People think this shit's cheap. It's not. People think they could put up $1,000 to get 1 million t-shirts. You can't. Nah, well, maybe you could somewhere, but it ain't gonna be fire for real. Like, if you want some fire shit, you're gonna have to up your ante. You gotta pay to play. So I say start small, work your way up. If you can't really afford to go crazy, just work your way up. And honestly, don't be afraid to be different, to be honest. And don't be afraid to give that shit out. Like when I met you, I just, here's
you gave me
shit.
and my girls some chains. I said, ooh.
The key to this shit, everybody has to be seen in your clothes. If not, who's gonna know about you? Especially me, I'm from Connecticut. Nobody knows where Connecticut is, like, at all. So with that being said, we don't got no lit rappers. We don't got no lit celebrities that really came out of my state at all. Like, we got lit rappers, but I'm talking superstar status to where I could just pull up, yo, bro, where are these? Nah, we don't got that. So I always gotta go out of town, go to pop-up shops, go to concerts, and just give my shit up. Like, it's been times like, man, I done flew to Detroit to a Babyface Ray concert, like, done stalked them niggas downstairs. Like, I know his camp, like, tired of me. Like, I done been downstairs trying to pay the fucking security. Like, yo, come on, let me go in there, feel me? I got this merch type shit. I done went to Boston, fucking paid for promo. I done went to Atlanta. I done went to Miami, California, just to get my shit off and get my shit seen. I done paid for shout outs. I done paid for niggas to wear my shit, cause I just know, like, nobody's gonna do shit for free.
Exactly.
At least how you want them to do it, you know? So I done paid niggas for promo. I done paid niggas to throw that shit on, shout me out on their page. Thousands of dollars, like, easily. Like, I'm well over 500,000 into this shit, easily. So that's that. You just gotta pay to play, that's all.
And that's on period.
Feel me? That's it.
Now, before we wrap up, do you have any shout outs?
First off, shout out to Members Only Camp, Glock 30 Camp. Without y'all, I wouldn't be where I am today. Shout out Quan Liddy, the shooter right there. My mom, shit, my girl. Without y'all, I wouldn't, shit. Y'all keep me grounded for real, and shit. Shout out to the universe. I believe in God, but I more so believe in a higher power, the universe. You know, I believe in karma. So, I mean, shout out to the universe for keeping me safe and keeping me grounded and keeping me going. And shit, that's that. Peace.
They ain't throw your boy no bands, I had to run my own. My little partner catching bodies, he get money roll.